Okay, here's a good exercise, but don't do this exercise unless you have listened to my previous video of cost, volume, profit. This author calls this subject break-even analysis, and most textbooks call it cost, volume, profit analysis. Now, for this subject, cost, volume, profit, you're going to need to know this equation: S times X, the sales price per unit, times the number of units, is equal to the fixed costs plus the variable cost per unit times X plus the profit. Now, this chapter gives you lots of shortcut methods for calculating each of these variables, but there are 5 variables here. And if I give you any four of them, you can calculate the 5th variable. Once you get the hang of it, it's super easy. So let's see here. Sprint Corporation is the largest digital wire service, blah, blah, blah. It says 60 million subscribers. So 60 million is X. That's the number of units that we sell or subscribers that we have. They generated revenue of 33 million. No, that's actually billions. Now, let's remember that these two things equal Y. Because remember, this is the revenue curve. And we could call this equation the formula for a straight line, and we could call this Y. Now, there's another Y. Y is the formula for a straight line. And when we're talking about total costs, we're talking about that line. Now, that has a slope on it too. Okay, so that's just a review. Let me erase that. Y is equal to 33.347 million. Actually, that's going to be billions. So that's what the total Y is. And we know that the X is 60 million. So if you take the 33 divided by 60, you'll get the sales price per customer, which is 555,783, repeating. Okay, so this particular exercise is not real clean because nobody sets that as a sales price. But still, I'm demonstrating how to do this generally. Now here's your trick. Let's look at these 3 costs here. Cost of revenue is called also cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold in a manufacturing environment, but this is a service company, so they don't call it goods, they just call it cost of revenue. It says here, down here, 30% of the cost of revenue is fixed. This is the little side puzzle. Let's create 2 columns here for fixed and variable. Now these 3 costs, here, here, and here, these costs have to fit into these 2 columns because all costs are fixed and or variable. So it says the cost of revenue, 14,958. Cost of revenue, 30% is fixed. So I'll multiply that by 30%. That means that 70% of this is variable. Multiply that by, let me clean that up. Multiply that by 70%. That would give us 4487.4. By the way, the author says right here, round to the nearest dime, not to the nearest penny. And this would be 10470.6. Now the author's going to play with our minds. The next cost is selling. He says, selling, 70% of selling are fixed. Okay. The selling is 7,994, and 70% are fixed. That means that 30% are variable. Something's wrong with my Apple Pen. Actually, what I think it is I think it's there's a crack in my my iPad. I think that's the problem. Okay, now let's go to this last one here. Depreciation is not a mixed cost. It is just a fixed cost. So add up all these fixed costs. You get 1,823.5. Add up the variable. 12868.8. All right. The total of the fixed costs is A. 18233.5 plus. Now B is variable cost per unit, not total. So we have to take this 12,868.8 and divide it by X. What's our X? 60 million. And that will give us a variable cost per unit, 0.00021448. And that fits into here, kind of. I'll write really small, 0.00021448 times this plus P. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that seems like a lot of effort, but I'm telling you, this, if you learn this, and you're an accounting major or you're going to do some bigger math, this is the easiest way to do Word problems. I've worked thousands of them in my life, and once you get this, it puts you on another level. Now, I haven't even started this exercise. I haven't started answering these questions yet. I'll change color now. And I was just teaching you how to take a word problem and fit it into this equation. Once you've done this, that means you totally understand the context. And then every question from now on becomes very simple. Let's ask question A. It says, what is the break-even accounts? Okay, let's pause. What's an account? Well, that's X. An account is a customer. So solve for X using the data and the assumptions given. Now, break-even means profit is 0. So just eliminate the 60 million, because that's what you're solving for, and you've got all the other variables to solve for X. Now let me change the color again, and we'll answer question B. It says, how much revenue per account? In other words, we're solving for S. How much revenue per account would be sufficient for spring break to break even? So set profit equal to 0 and use all these numbers and calculate S. You may not like this, but I tell you, when I prepared for the CPA exam, there were areas of the CPA exam where I felt uncertain and I was a little bit afraid. But every time I got a question on cost, volume, profit, or anything like it, I knew I would get a slam dunk 100% every time. And I didn't feel that way in any other subject. And probably this was the subject that I felt that I was going to hit a home run every time. So anyway, bear with this. There you go.